Hi everyone. I wanted to give you guys a tour of our garden, or at least what we started this year. So it's probably going to be a 10-minute video or whatnot, but we're about to find out. So let me flip my camera around. So basically we have some of our flowers on our deck here. Some we bought, some we started from seed, like the zinnia. It's coming right there. We have more here, just haven't seen any pop up yet. Primrose. We have a saucer magnolia. Our fig tree. It's supposed to be a Turkish kind, and it's survived winter, so it's starting to sprout here. Our olives didn't do too good, but it is what it is. As we go along, you're going to see some of the signs that I laser engraved and my wife painted. We have our saffron. We've had it for a few years. Nothing's flowered yet, but it hasn't died, so we keep going. Some more basil, more flowers. Vermillionaire, we love these because it brings oh my god, forgot the name. But it brings the birds. I'm having a mental block right now. These we bought a couple years ago. We haven't seen any fruit yet, but it's basically the pineberry strawberries. We're dying to find out what it tastes like. We have more flowers coming. We have our sage, nazarene flower. We have petunias in those little baskets, but again, we have to wait for things to flower up. Our rosemary, this thing is almost as tall as I am, but as we are going, it's going. We have two more types. Down below, we have this tomato plant that's supposed to be more ornamental, but you can still eat the tomatoes. We picked them up at a fair. We have organic lemon thyme, or not a fair, a farmer's market. We have our regular sage, Italian oregano, more thyme. This bad boy's been with us for a couple years now. On our cinder blocks, we have our long onions. Believe it or not, the bottom half basically survived all winter on all these. These are not planted this year. As soon as the warm weather hit, it started coming out. And this one here is a kiwi, a variety that vines. Last year it was being basically choked out by our grapes. We had our grapes on these trellises, but we at the end of last year we transplanted the grapes to another area. We just needed to, and we just have some flowers. More flowers. This is the garlic from last year. That should be ready in a few more months. This one has potatoes and more garlic. This one is all onions. This bed over here has some red potatoes, but they haven't come out yet. But we have onions, leeks, garlic. This a bed of onions that we left over winter because they were just too small. I just noticed that it's starting to flower, so we're gonna cut the scape and put it in tomorrow's dinner. This also has some potatoes, and then this little bed is the first time we're growing these. These are creamer potatoes. We planted this in February when the weather was kind of nice and warm. That bed over there has peppers and artichokes, spinach. We have peppers here. We have oh my god, I forgot to say it in English, but fennel, sorry. Parsley. We have beets, broccoli, celery in the front end. I obviously it's going to start sprouting in a few weeks. The back road has cucumbers. It's called Burpless Beauty. And then this other bed has this other breed or species, whatnot. It's called Market More Cucumbers. And they love our trellis. They will just vine up in this thing really nicely. And on these little potato sacks, we have our red cabbage. So we have red cabbage in all these three. Over there as well. Those haven't come out yet. But a couple more weeks, if nothing comes out, then we're just gonna put more seeds in. And on this bed we have tomatoes. We kind of keep the center bed of our garden for the tomatoes because it's easier to manage. Here we have lentils and these two. We have turnips, carrots, a rainbow mix. That bed has russet potatoes. This one has red potatoes, which are starting to come out, flower. This one has some leftover onions from last year that, again, just didn't do too well. They didn't die, but they didn't do too well. And this one has Yukon Gold. This one over here has the red potatoes. I'm hoping they survive. Because we did have a couple of nights of frost, but they're still there. Now this trellis here, not trellis, but we use a cattle panel to make an arch, and we have red beans, pink beans, black, and I think small red beans, so kidney beans, pink, red, black, and kidney. Sunflower over there. These we planted, these are garlic, and we planted these again in February, about the first week. We had about a week or so where it was just so warm that we decided to give it a try. We don't have, well, I could have made a bed, but we decided to use this old bin. It's cracked, so get at least one good season out of it, and then we can get rid of it. Now over here we have what I call Experiment 626. Every food scrap that we had, we threw it in here. So onion scraps, potato scraps, tomatoes, and as you can tell, this ring here, it's just, they started coming out. The potatoes are coming out, garlic's coming out, onions. So we'll see what happens. And this is one of the grapes that we had, again, over at the other trellis that was choking out the kiwi. It's already started to bud, which is great. So we put it along the trellis, and let's see what happens. In our greenhouse this year, we're gonna be growing our lettuce inside because I'm tired of everything else eating it. So we have these two that I think they're about a week or two apart, and these two we started the seeds about a week ago. So the idea is that once we start harvesting these should be ready to be harvested maybe a week or two afterwards, and just continue the cycle the whole summer and as far into the fall as we can to see what happens. I think my wife has basil in some of these. I don't know if they're old basil. We do have a banana plant. We have inside the greenhouse. We're trying to keep it in here until it warms up. I mean, the weather's not bad, but it's been very windy. And the wind's just making the temperatures drop. This is the other grape. So the other side was red grapes. These are green grapes. And we have some of our sweet corn on this side. We get a lot of wind in the summertime up here. Don't know why, but the last couple of years, a few of them have just basically snapped. And we have some grapes that I left on the side of the greenhouse, on the right side and on the left side. Instead of transplanting like we did the other grapes that we have. So I'm gonna head over to the other side. we have a few varieties of mint here. We have the regular mint. We've had these for a while. We had to transplant these because they were just too big in the pots that they were in. So we have mint, chocolate mint, orange mint, mint apple, ready for martinis. Here, some leftover berries. I didn't want to move these guys, so I left them where they are. And basically, these are just flowers that we have in all these to help with the pollination. These are the strawberries that I transplanted, or we transplanted, into the planters that I made from skids. These are some of the signs that I actually made a couple weeks ago, laser engraved, and then my wife painted them and then we sealed them. So these are the berry treasure. They have the pink flowers. These ever sweet, I believe, have white flowers. We had a lot of grapes, strawberries last year. This is our blackberry. We moved. We had it potted, but I didn't want to trim it down too much and hurt it, so we basically transplanted it, put it in the ground. We took a cattle panel and did the same thing. We basically put a trellis for it to spread if it has to. All these logs you see down here is driftwood. We picked them up at our local beach. We went there for a scavenger hunt. Kind of looks nice in my eyes, but I'm not an expert. And over here we have one of our Asian pears that a co-worker friend of mine, Carlos, again, Carlos, thank you for those, gave me. We did a exchange. I gave him some eggs and he gave me some plants. So more flowers. We have our asparagus. We moved from the other bed that I was in to this little bed. It's starting to come. Let's hope that we didn't kill it, but cross our fingers. Here we have Dakota black corn. There should be more popping out pretty soon. This is rhubarb. We transplanted that boy over here. Again, that and the asparagus were in a corner where they just weren't getting enough sunlight. They were thriving, but not thriving the way they should. So we have blood butcher corn. This is a red corn. And over here we moved the sequoia berries to this other planter that I made. Again, these were made from recycled or upcycled skids. Same thing with the signs, they were upcycled from skids. Now over here we decided that we wanted some fruit trees in our current property. We do have fruit trees in another property, but we have a pear, another Asian pear over there. We have cherries, plums, apples, nectarines, tangerines, and over here it's where I used our tiller, dug up nice, and then when we got our compost last week, we decided to try one of the mound style in-ground planting. Not that I'm old, but I definitely don't want to be bending my back too much. So these are also laser engraved rocks that we have in most of these. The name, the fruit design, and my wife painted them. And we sealed those. So we have zucchinis over there. We have squash. We have summer squash, pumpkins, watermelons. We have sugar watermelons. We have regular watermelons, jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, cantaloupes, and another variety of watermelons. They're right now in this electric fence because for whatever reason we have an abundance of rabbits this year, and they're visiting every night, and we want to make sure we give those guys an opportunity to grow a little bit more before they start being attacked. Here we have more berry treasure, strawberries. That's the last of the seeds that we had. I know the soil looks dry on the top, but with this type of compost, what's underneath is moist, so it's holding its water very good. We have bushel berries. Had these bushel and berry blueberries. We had these since 21. We had others that were older, but we moved them elsewhere. We just picked up this year red lake currants, and we can't wait to taste them. We know they're a little bit tart, but again, life is about trying new things. Here we have the gem corn. That's that little rainbow looking corn. It's more decorative than anything else, but it is what it is. So we have our nectarines. There's thyme there. These are flowering. This is our espalier apple tree. There's 6 varieties of apples. It's flowering. It's self-pollinating, so I don't have to worry about that. What do we have over here? I forgot, it was apricot. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, apricot. So apricot tree. I know we're not gonna get fruits from all of these this year, the next couple of years, but it's an encouraging sign that you're actually seeing little buds. This one has a few, especially up here where the fruit's starting to grow. And this bad boy over here that's just starting to, the bud is our red pear tree. We've been trying to find one for a while, and we finally did. So we're excited just to see that spring is here and things are coming. So it's exciting. Some things will grow, some will not. Some will take a few years for us to actually see some fruit out of it, but it's part of the process. Hope you guys like the little mini tour that I just gave you. When I get a chance, I'll get a drone shot from above. It's just way too windy today. If you like what you see, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. And again, if there's anything you guys want us to try to grow or have me build, I'm not a carpenter. I've been self-taught for the last few years. That's my wife wanted an outdoor sink, and I built her one. It's solid. We actually have a cast iron sink over there, so you know, I learn as I go. As the requests come in from my wife, I give my best shot to try to build it for her. Again, so if you like what you've seen, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.